let's shift our attention to the commodities market, and this time we're talking Elubo. Well, it's a Nigerian name for yam flour, which is used to make amala, and that's a staple food here for many Nigerians, particularly the Yorubas. So that's the southwestern part. However, its key ingredient, which is yam, is primarily produced in Benue State. Now, as of June of this year, the price of a pint of bucket of yam flour has risen by about 25% from 8,000 naira in June last year to 10,000 naira. Now, this increase is higher than Nigeria's inflation rate of 15.69%. So now, to give us details about this, let's bring in Adekunle Favor, who is an analyst with Financial Derivatives Company. Thank you for joining us, Adekunle.
Good afternoon, Anita. Thank you for having me.
Okay. All right, so now, my first question, if I can ask more questions apart from that. Now, what factors have caused this price increase? Also, given the price of petrol and diesel, logistics costs, which is a crucial factor in pricing, which has risen significantly. And what is the price outlook for the coming month?
Okay, so yes, you're right that the price of the yam flour, which is popularly known as Elubo here, in Nigeria, most widely consumed by people in the southwestern part of Nigeria. The price of that commodity has increased by 25%, to 10,000 naira year on year. And there are a number of factors that are responsible for that. One being that yam, the major product that we use to produce yam flour, and it's a seasonal commodity, right? And, at the beginning of the year, we said that yam, one tuber of yam was going for about 3,000 naira, and now one tuber of yam is going for 5,000 naira. So there's an increase in the price of yam. That's for the demand side. Then for supply, there is a large issue of insecurity in yam producing states, right? Like Benue, Nasarawa, Taraba. And this is discouraging farmers, from like consistently farming, which has reduced supply of yam. There's also transportation cost and logistics costs. And we all know, there is an uptick in the price of diesel and petrol. They have gone up by over 50% this year alone as a result of the current conflict between US and Iran, which we don't even know, when there would be a truce, for that. So these factors, coupled with the fact that yam flour, it's energy intensive, meaning that electricity is used in the milling process of yam to convert it to yam flour. So these factors, have contributed to an increase in the price of yam flour over the past year, I'll say.
Okay, so now.
And
okay, go ahead. Just 20 seconds.
Okay, the outlook for the price of yam flour, the harvest season of yam is towards August and September. So it is expected that, there will be, just a little decline, a marginal decline in the price of the yam flour, however, not as the previous year. Yeah,
Aber
because
die
that is
Märkte,
not the
die
only
haben schlecht
factor that
reagiert.
contributes to
Hast du gesehen?
the price of
Plötzlich
yam
der DAX
flour.
ist in
We still have other things like transportation costs, logistics costs, and we've said that the price of these things have gone up because of the increase in the price of diesel and petrol.
Okay, so now that takes me to my actually let me jump my question to my third question. Now, how might rising prices of this staple influence the producer's decision to switch production to more profitable goods, and what implication would this have for supply and prices?
Okay, so talking about the producers and the consumers as well, even of this popular staple here in Nigeria. We don't expect that both producers and the consumers would automatically stop consuming these things or producing because, the price has, increased. Rather, there are substitutes in terms of consumption and even production. For example, there's the popular cassava flour, which is known as lafun. That is a popular, substitute for amala, and sometimes even mixed with the water yam served, widely in parties and even like in buka restaurants that is similar to that. So for both consumers and even the producers, they would alternate between these producers as well, alternate between the production of the cassava flour, as prices continue to increase. So there is not going to be like a total stopping of the consumption or the production of this commodity, because, like I said earlier on, it is widely consumed in Nigeria and very popular, especially among the Yorubas. So.
Of course, I'm not very typical of Elubo, but I guess I might try, even though the price is expensive at the moment. But thank you so much for your analysis on the show. Adekunle Favor.
Thank you for having me.